Hello, welcome. My name is Nadine DRESBACH. I am with School Specialty Saks Arts and Crafts, and I am here to show you a lesson plan that has a math and art integration. It is called the Coloring Book of Mini Mandalas, and it was done originally by Carol Miller, our art consultant from Wisconsin. The lesson plan can be found online at schoolspecialty.com or saksartsandcrafts.com, either one. And it's also included in your handouts that you received, again with a discount promo code from ordering from us. We have, I have the a semi-finished project right here for you to see of the individual designs. Now, you can do and approach this lesson two ways. It's designed on a zigzag book with a collection of 7 different designs if you include the cover. But you can also approach it as a class project, so that after each student has finished their design, you would put them all onto sheets and photocopy them for each other so that they can share the designs with each other. And I had a group that just did this for me the other day, so I could show you a sample. So that is our final concept. I'm going to right now let you see the materials that we're going to use. So starting with this is the zigzag book. It's a kit that we have. It's from Arnold Grummer, zigzag book kit, and it's got 12 sets in it, and you get the front and the back and the inside kind of already pre-cut for you and folded. And then the Reeves colored pencils, and we're using the Alvin all-purpose template designs, Sharpie fine point stylus pens, and the Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I've got colorless blenders here. I'm using Strathmore mixed media paper. You're going to need a compass, and I've got the Strathmore Artigan black paper that we'll be using. And then also, it's not on the lesson plan book, but I'll also use this Helix. It's an angle and circle maker. You can use it as a compass as well, and protractor, but I like it for the circular designs. It's a spinning type of thing that they can use inside of their mandala designs. So those are the materials we're going to use. And I'm going to start you off by showing you how to do the book, how to assemble the book itself. So the Strathmore Artigan paper, because it's so large, of course, I'm cutting it, first I cut it in half, and so half sheet will cover the book. So I've got my front and my back cover that came in with the kit, and I've got my inside. And I'm going to take a pencil, which is hidden right now. I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to make an X on the front of the book and the back of the books, because there won't be any designs on those. Those are the front and the back that end up getting glued inside the book itself. So my next step would be to kind of lay my squares out onto my black paper, lay them out so that they're going to have enough room between them when you cut it. So basically, you can at this point just take this half a sheet and cut it in half again, so you've got a quarter of each of those sheets to cover each one. So I already did that. And then I trimmed it. So I pulled it down to the bottom and I trimmed my top. So this is going to eventually become my book cover that's going to be like that. And I'm going to set this one aside. I'm just going to glue the one today. So I've got it trimmed to my edges. And I like to people do them in different methods. They like to cut away corners and things like that. This is just particularly the method I use. I've got a piece of copy paper underneath it, obviously, to get rid of any glue, so I can glue right off the edge and not worry about getting it on my table surface. And I'm going to glue the side. I'm going to throw a little bit underneath my block, not too much, but enough to hold it still for me. I like to do two sides first, two opposite sides. Oh, and I meant to mention, this is a heavier paper. So if it's a a smaller child that's doing it, I would recommend that they fold it before they stick the glue on, just to get a nice fold crease on it. I'll do that on the other two sides. I'll get my glue, my edges now. Sometimes when they do the other method where they cut the corner out first and then fold, I see that my students tend to expose too much of that corner, and they will inevitably expose that cardboard. So in order to avoid that, I like to do it first so it's all the way to the edge and that part gets pinched shut. So they're not exposing that cardboard corner. I trim it a little bit. You did that one a little too short. So again, with the younger one, I might have them fold it like that first to get that crease going. Again, this is a really nice strong paper. And then if they got a little tab there, you can make sure they get some glue under it too. And no one's going to see this back. It's going to get glued. So it doesn't have to be perfect. But I do want to push nice and hard, again, because it's a heavier paper. You want to push hard to get it down really good. Okay, so we've got a good cover on there. Now you would cover a second side. Once your two sides are covered, then you're going to put the inside of your book together. So you're going to put glue. And the reason I don't put it on this is because you don't need to go all the way to the edge. The white paper's not going to go all the way to the edge, so you don't want to. You're going to go all the way to the edge of this paper. And make sure it gets centered nicely. And then you would do the same thing with the other side. Make sure that you line your edges of your book up really good right there, so you're not crooked. And I like to flip it, and I push. And have them sit there for a minute with it, pushing down on it. And always a glue stick, not white glue. It saves from the ripples and the bubbles. Okay, and then you have your completed accordion folded book. So you're done with this for a while. You can set this aside. And we're going to move on to the design of the mandala. So, that's the plan. So we start with a piece of copy paper. And we're going to make a 3-inch circle on our copy paper. And it's 3.5 inches. So because you want a 3.5 inch diameter, you want your radius to be 1 3/4 inches on your compass. So you're going to find that right on your compass. And actually had someone not realize the other day that those numbers were even on there. So that's why I'm pointing that out right now. So you're going to draw that on this paper, on your copy paper, and you're going to cut that out. And you're also going to draw it on your drawing paper. I don't think I actually had that at the right number. Yeah, I moved it down when I showed you. So I'm going to do a 3.5 inch circle. Okay. And you're going to set it on your nice paper, and you're going to set that aside. So I had said that that was your good paper. That, just to be clear, was the mixed media paper that we're doing for the final piece. So I drew my 3.5 inch circle on that. I set it aside. And the original one that you did on copy paper, I asked you to cut out. So you've cut your circle out of copy paper. And we are going to fold it in half. Actually, I'm going to do a new one for you because I have one that's done. What we're going to do is create our segments. So we're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to fold it perpendicular so that you have a 90-degree angle perpendicular to your first fold. So we have a 90-degree angle there. And then I'm going to fold it so you bisect that last 90-degree angle. As a wedge or a segment. So when you open it up, you will have 8 segments. So again, I just did it in half, a 90-degree, and then a bisect in half again. Okay, so you're going to open it up, and then you're going to bring back your original drawing that's on your good paper, and you're going to lay this on top. And you're going to take your pencil and you're going to mark a dash on the circumference, around the circumference of the circle at each of your marks. And I've gone ahead and actually finished that over there. So you've marked your circumference, and then you are done with your wedges. And you can set those aside. So you are going to lightly now get a ruler, and I'm just going to use the end of my template here, and lightly connect the lines to create each segment on your mandala. And lightly, because you might erase these later. And for the benefit of the video, I made them a little darker on this one so that you can see them all. Your next step is you're going to begin to do your design, and you want to create symmetry in each of your segments. And so for example, when I'm doing the curve, so I'm always going to line up so that it can be symmetrical. I was using just the tip of the arrow in line with the outside of my circle edge and got my curve to touch the sides when I traced it. And you can go ahead and build designs as simple or intricate as you would like. And your next step, once you have finished your whole circle with your pencil, is to erase any excess lines that you have that you don't want to be included in your design or shown through your colored pencil. So you're going to go ahead and erase your excess lines. And I'm not going to do the whole thing. And then you're going to take your Sharpie and you're going to outline your pencil marks that you want to keep as part of your design. And it's important that you do your Sharpie before your colored pencil, because it lengthens the life of your Sharpie markers to do it that way. You're going to trace all of your edges, which I'm not going to do right now. So at that point, then after the whole thing is covered in Sharpie, that would be when you would take the photocopies for the students if you wanted to do the collaborative piece. And then after that's finished, you would color using the Reeves colored pencils and the blending pencils. Do your colors, and she had used kind of a gradient designs on hers in her coloring methods, so you can take a peek at those. And if you would like, Carol used the gloss temper varnish on top to give a nice sheen to the finished piece. So you would varnish it first, and then you would cut it out, and you will mount it on the front of your design. And that is the end. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I hope you're enjoying the conference. Have a great day.